everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at how to make this adorable mom's gift box. It has a lid and a base. It's quite large. It is made with a 12 by 12 cardstock, so it does make a pretty large box for you to put little trinkets in or little gifts in there. You can use it for Mother's Day, birthdays, or just because I love you. Now the materials that are needed for this is cardstock. I use the 12 by 12 cardstocks typically. Anything 65 pounds or more are going to produce the best products. I also used a glitter cardstock with this specific project and a regular white base cardstock as well. For gluing, I did use a little bit of tacky glue, also primarily hot glue, as I always do with my crafts. It's less work time and you can get through the project quicker, and it's more precise with putting the glue on your project. You'll also need some kind of cutting machine. We will be using a Cricut Explore Air 2 in this project today. You will need a scoring tool for the project and a fine point cutting blade as well. For this specific project, this mom's box is from Creative Fabrica. I will link the template down below in the descriptions, so it'll take you directly to it. Now, let's go ahead and jump into Cricut Design Space and let's get started. All right, so here we are in Cricut Design Space. As you can see, I do have the template already uploaded into Canvas. If you need to upload yours still, go to your left sidebar and press the upload button, and then you can upload from there. Again, this template is linked in the descriptions of this tutorial, so if you want to try this template out, go into the descriptions right below, click on the link, and it'll take you right to this exact template. Now, once you first upload this template, it's going to be grouped together. You'll go ahead and click on the template, go over to your right side panel, and click the Ungroup button. And now everything should be individual. You can select what you need to. This section and this part will have two pieces for each part. There's a score line and then the base, which is the yellow part of the template. Now, the very first thing after ungrouping, you want to go ahead and select this little outline right here. You're going to go on over to your operations, change it to score. Now, instead of seeing solid lines, you should see dash mark lines, and that's how you'll get your score line with your cutting machine. Do that also with the other outline as well. So both of the parts of the template should look like this. Now from here, it's quite simple. Go ahead and select your base. This is going to be the bottom of the box. You will want to go ahead to your right side panel again, go down to attach, and also do it with the top of the box as well. Also attach, and that way when you go to make it, it's not all separated onto your mat. All the lines and the pieces are where they need to be. What's cute about this template is it does have a mom and then the mum as well. A lot of people are always asking for the mum variation, so I think that's really cute that they included both of those. Now, we know that this is the top of the box, this is the base of the box. The words will go right over the top. You can change colors, that way you can kind of see what you're doing. I'll go ahead and just change that one. I'll go ahead and move it to the top of the sections of the layers here. That way we can see it over the layer. And change the color back. Now, just kind of laying it together, you're going to see what it's going to look like with different colors, but also you get the idea of where things go. So this is going to be the inner layer, which will go on the inside of the top of the box. You can go ahead and change colors. That way you can kind of see what it's going to look like with similar colors that you're going to be working with. So let's say I'm going to change this to a darker pink. To get a darker pink, since it's not right here in the quick set, you can go to advanced, press the plus button, and down here you have the rainbow, and you just click say pink right there. And this is the different shades, so you can adjust from there. So that's how you kind of mess with your colors. I'll do it with the base as well, just like that. I'll go ahead and change the mom to white. And I think this, which will be the second layer of the inner box, that'll go right behind the rose cutouts. I'll make that a red. And then I think I'll change also the rose cutouts. We'll do that one in a lighter pink. So again, just going back to say that pink, advanced, and just shading it down to a lighter color. So that's how you get kind of an idea of what everything's gonna look like. You can delete pieces that you don't need. And that's really about it. It is a very simple template. There's not a whole lot of steps. Just making sure you do the steps is what is important. So now you're ready, you're all set up, and we'll go over on to Make It. And from here, you'll just make sure everything is in place where it needs to be. We'll go on over to Continue. All right, so now we are in the set base material. If you're using just standard cardstock, you do the cardstock for intricate cuts. If you're using a heavier cardstock, like glitter cardstock, you'll use the glitter cardstock setting. To get these settings, you just turn your dial to custom and it'll bring up options for you. So go ahead and select what you need. It does give you an option to change your pressure. We can go ahead and do more, default, or less. For regular cardstock, I just do default. From here, you'll go ahead and load your mat and press go. So at this point, we should have all 5 pieces cut out. You'll have the base of the box, the lid of the box, 2 of the inner panels for the lid of the box, and the mom cut out as well. So the first thing that I like to do is go ahead and put the base of the box together first. And it's a very easy, very simple. You're just gonna go ahead and follow the score lines, which if you can see there, should all be pretty defined. And you're just gonna be very careful to fold right along those score lines. So just like that, if you scored it properly, it should bend very easily and you shouldn't have to have any additional tools. All right, so we have the flaps folded in, so it should look something like this. Now you're gonna fold upwards on the panels, again, right along the score line. And just kind of make them nice and solid creases for all of the panels. All right, so all of your panels should be folded upwards and your little tabs folded inwards. So at some point it's gonna look somewhat like this. Now from here, we're gonna go ahead and glue our panels together. What we're gonna do is put glue on the tab that is on the inside, and you'll glue your panel to the tab, and the tab should be on the inside when it's glued. So go ahead and do that. All right, so the first panel should be glued together just like that. You can kind of squish it, make it really nice and tight. And that should be your first panel. You're gonna go around and do each individual one until they're all glued together. All right, so you have all of your panels glued except for one. When you get to this one, obviously you can't pull it out. So if you just bend the panel in, the tab, you can go ahead and just glue it like that, and then fold it back onto your panel. All right, and very easy, the base of your box is completed. Like I said, it is a very simple and very quick project, and it actually does come out pretty large for being on 12 by 12 cardstock. Now the next step is to do the exact same thing with the lid, and then we'll move on to putting the inserts in as well. So when you're doing your lid, you want to make sure you're folding it correctly. There is a top and then there's a bottom inner. You want to make sure this is the right way. So what is easiest, take your cutout mom and just lay it over here. As long as it lines up like that, then you have it the right way. If you have it upside down, it's not going to look proper. So you can see it's off center there, which means it's the wrong way. So just like that, that's the top, and that's the way we're going to leave it when we're folding. The top, you are going to fold everything, your panels downwards, so it'll go down like that. So just make sure you're folding correctly. So the same thing, we will just fold along our score lines, all of our panels and all of our tabs. So you should have all of your tabs and your panels folded. It'll look like this. Again, just double check, make sure you have everything folded the right way. Again, the mom cutout should just fit in there properly like that. Now, same thing, go ahead and glue your tabs to your panels. All right, so from here, you should have your lid put together. To make it more square, go ahead and just start folding the corners just like that. Not too hard, but just enough to give it that more squared off look. Same with the top part, but again, not too hard. And then it should just fit right over the top of the bottom of the box, just like that. All right, so go ahead and take your lid back off. That's just making sure that it fits properly. Now we're gonna still work with the lid, and we're gonna put the insert panels in as well, along with the mom. So as you can see, I did choose glitter for my inner part with just a plain cardstock over the top of it. However, you can either leave this section open, you can just put the roses in, or you can do more of a vellum type of cardstock, which just gives it kind of a different look, which would look like that. So that's actually really pretty also. So I just wanted to show you what that would look like as well. But I'll go ahead and do the glitter behind the cardstock. Now the first part is the rose insert. That will go into the top first, just like that. We'll go ahead and glue that part in and either do just a little dab there or just along the outer edge of the rose cutout. Okay, you don't need a lot because you don't want it to squish out. We'll go ahead and just slide that in right there. And try to make it as centered as possible. Mine did get a little off center, but that's all right. That's kind of what it looks like once it's in place. Now we'll go put the glitter cardstock in. Same exact thing, just glue around the edges and slide it in. So that's what it'll look like with the glitter cardstock in there. All right, so now we're gonna put on the mom name. Again, just make sure your mom background is the right way. You can see mine is upside down, so just make sure it's the right way before you go and glue the mom on. Now it'll lay there nice. With this part, I am going to use regular crafting glue. That way I can smear it and I have more working time. So I have just a little tacky glue and a little paintbrush. I'm just going to dip that in there. And then I'm going to paint it right onto the back of the mom. And I'll actually go ahead and just take the cardstock that I used to cut it out. I'm going to go ahead and turn this over because you want to glue the back side. Lay that there and then just paint that glue onto the back side. All right, once you have it nice and tacky there, just go ahead and very gently lift it back up. If you're using crafting glue, it does dry pretty quickly, so you want to make sure you're not gluing it down to whatever you're painting on, like the cardstock. Move that out of the way. And we'll go ahead and just make this nice and centered. And just press it on. And just take your time with this part, that way it looks nice. So just like that. You can see I could probably add a little bit more glue on there, but for this, just showing you, it's gonna be just fine. I'm gonna add a little more on the tail there. All right, we'll clean up our little work area and then go ahead and just put the lid on top of the bottom of the box. And there you have it, a cute little mom's box. You can use it for Mother's Day, her birthday, just a because I love you gift, or just a cute little decoration for cute little memories. All right, there you have it, an adorable little mom's box with a lid and a base and a very cute pattern in the center. If you enjoyed this tutorial, if this was a fun craft for you, go ahead and boop that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share for others so that they can get helped as well. Have a wonderful day and happy crafting.